we are submitting a site plan, and it's been suggested that we should agree to put a P in front of our zoning request so that the site plan, if it's gonna be changed, would have to come back before council, and my client will do that. We'll accept that we're gonna have that 100-foot with a 16-foot high berm, which is 40 feet wide, vegetative, and we'll accept that as a condition on the site plan. And I'd be glad to answer any questions. I hopefully have demonstrated that we are, in fact, doing our best to be good neighbors. And I really don't think, considering what's going to be on the road, that we're going to make any more noise for the folks than the road. So, and we're not going to hurt the city either, because we're not going to put traffic on the local streets. So I thank you for listening to me, and be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you. Does anyone else like to speak on this, please?
David Dumas, 277 Cloverdale Avenue, Fort Wentworth. In addition to what Mr. McCullough said, there'll be an additional buffer. Fedway has my property under contract, which is this property, which will give them another approximately 300 feet of buffer for the cannons. It's not subject to rezoning of that property, so it'll still remain residential until they come back. But I vote for the rezoning. They've been fair and just in their negotiations. They're gonna have to fend for themselves. They fended for themselves now.
Yeah, that's all you talked about last week on the cookies.
Okay, yep. All right, anyone else want to speak on it? Okay, anyone else want to speak on this public hearing? Okay, at this time, this public hearing is closed. Now, remember, as the motion is made and discussion will happen, there's only discussion between council, the mayor, staff. If a council member needs to ask a question to one of the participants, they're allowed to ask me to bring him back up to the podium. But the public hearing is now closed, and now the motion will be made and discussion will be had amongst mayor and council. Can I have a motion on this, please?
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to approve this with the P I2 industrial zone.
Your Honor, I'll second this motion.
There's a motion to approve as a motion as stated in your books, but add the P to the industrial I2. Is there any discussion, please?
Yes, I'd like to know if there any way that the developer can put something there that's gonna use more water, more power than 600 gallons a day and employ more than 6 people. That's what I'd like to know. We're in the business of selling water and cleaning it as well, so it would really help us if the developer was able to put something that's going to use a lot of water, a lot of power. But of course, that's the developer. I'm just wishful thinking.
Anyone else?
I have a question, Sean.
Yes, sir.
Do we still have residents living there?
Oh, yes, sir.
We have how many?
I don't know how many residents? If I would,
No. All right, Mr. Dumas' property, let's say, for verification is gone. How many other properties do we have?
actually what will happen if, and I guess, let me see if I can get this right. The south property and the near property will be taken up by the DOT, so that basically they don't have a choice. And then the Dumas property, Finch property, the Cannon property, and the seller's property would be the 4 properties that are currently living in there. But it's my understanding just what Mr. Dumas said. I think he's under contract. Is that correct, what you said? And I think you said the seller's under contract. I think that's what you said. And It's my understanding that the Finches and the Cannons are not at this time, but the Cannon property would not be a part of the rezoning, it would still be in the residential areas, am I correct?
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, the settlers and all the Dumas property is being rezoned, it's all just gonna be residential still.
Right, it'd be residential, but that's what I'm saying, as far as, I'm talking about, I was referring to as far as the contract, that he was asking who was living there.
Miss Cannon and then the Finch.
Right, this is correct.
All right, how do they, no one else has spoken up, how do they feel?
That's what I wanna know, because we had a public hearing, and I only had this gentleman.
And they notified the chairman.
Well, I was here that you got planning committee Monday or Thursday. And they didn't want this zoning, or they didn't want this passed, I believe.
Well, no one spoke against it.
Well, they did theirs.
Well, we don't, hold on. Let's don't get back to, back and forth. We're here at the council of Palmetto to listen to what we had, the public hearings we've had. Now, the discussion is on the motion to approve the motion. Now, stay relative to where we're at. Stay relative to where we're at, discuss the idea of whether you want to zone this property or not.
That's the obvious question, I mean, for us, is this what we want to?
Is this what we want to force on those people that are still living there?
Correct. And, I mean, is that where, is it, you know, is that zoning what we wanna do going forward with the city, you know, as a master plan?
Well, I still think the problem we run into is this. We need to think about our residents. Some of these people have lived there, God knows, for 50 years or so, maybe longer, I don't know. But the point is, why force something on them when they do not want to give up their home? Now, granted, we can control what we want to do in the city. It's up to us. Now, granted, this is 2 or 3 citizens, when I say that, I'm talking about families, that we're looking after. But if we don't, we're gonna lose our people. By degrees, we're gonna start bringing in more terminals, more trucks, and here it comes. It's already half started.
I second the motion, for several reasons. One, the buffer, the closest buffer is going to hurt. The buffer will be closer than what the actual Jimmy DeLoach extension would be on any one of these given properties, and much further from, where the fences was. I guess Ms. Cannon would be close to one of about 1,000. You got it right. Where to what, the site plan is. What's the nearest buffer, Mr. McCorkle, about the question?
Sure, Miss Cannon will be about 1,000 feet away, the Finches will be, about 350 feet away.